so excited to be here, to be part of this group of amazing and inspiring women sharing my journey through the digital transformation. Okay, so let's get started. Before that, let me quickly introduce myself a little bit. I'm from a very little teeny place in the center of Portugal called what I lovely call my middle of nowhere. Is the place where my family is still living, and I come quite often. Every 2 3 weeks I come back to recharge my energy, my batteries with their love, with mom's food that it's very important, and some of physical work. I love walking, and walking in the middle of those forests is amazing. I'm the first person on my family who gets graduated, and that was a massive achievement for everyone. My grandparents did not study, and back to that time, only rich families were able to go to school. So, but my grandparents, they had a goal in their life. They wanted to provide to their kids a better future. So they immigrated into France, and they spent a few years there getting to try to give a better life to their kids. One of their goals of being immigrated to France was in fact providing them the tools to have a better life than what they had by themselves. So my mom did the same with the children's. Her goal was to create the tools and to provide us the tools for me and my brother to be better, to have a better future than what she was. So I think she made it so far. When I was a kid, my dream was to be an international politician. Let me tell you, not because I love politics. It's more because while watching TV news, I was looking those politicians traveling around the world, and I was finding that awesome. And I started earlier traveling around the world because when I was 9, I got awarded with a ticket to visit the Disney World in Miami. So it might have been my first sign. So I grew up on that teeny place where I did my elementary school until high school before going to the university. I remember once I went on a student's visit to Coimbra University. That is the 7th oldest university in Europe and the 1st oldest in Portugal. And I came back home fascinated with the university and all those lovely buildings, but also in love with a pair of red shoes. On that day, I came home and told my mom, I want to go to that university. I want to have a job that allows me to buy those shoes. I want to study hard, that have a job that pays my bills, but important, allows me to traveling around the world. So that was for probably my first ambition, my professional first ambition. I know how hard it was to my mom and I, and she was just teaching me a way to have a better future than the life she had. I was working while studying to do not overcharge my mom with my expenses, even knowing she would do everything she could to support me. I've made business economics and finance, maybe also because my mom had a small business. So I grew up there interacting with her customers, learning how to build relationships, learning values, and learning little finance things as well. So I did university. I went on a students exchange program to Belgium and completed my degree successfully. Let me move. So then I was excited to start working. I was really looking for a job to have my money at the end of the day and to be an independent girl. I started working in Banco Santander, but I was not happy at all with my job. So after a few years, I decided to start looking around for a role more aligned with my studies. And in 2005, I joined the technology sector through the EMC. EMC was a great company where I learned a lot, practical things, where I applied all my studies that I've acquired in the university. I started as finance analyst. I was cost controlling. I was doing cash collections. I was doing accounting, also payroll, facilities, a bit of everything, which was good for the future. But I kept pursuing my dream around international moves. And in 2008, I moved to an EMEA pricing role that at that time was based in Madrid. So I packed all my stuff, my dog, and we moved to Madrid. It was a great experience. I did travel around the world a lot, especially on EMEA region. Of course, not everything is good. I had some ups and downs, but it's learning from everything at the end of the day. But like in the movie, love happens, and I met my husband and moved back to Portugal. And let me tell you one thing. I think this is important. Love is one of the most important things you have in your life and your career. Love is important for your well being. You always need to be passionate with what you do. Everyone around will notice how happy you are, and that is contagious. Hopefully, I was working on a tech company that allowed me to move back to Portugal, and I was able to keep doing my job from Portugal. Even with EMC, I was able to keep progressing on my career. Although progression doesn't mean that I will always go up. Sometimes we need to make some lateral moves, or something happens on your life that you need to take a step back, probably to take risks, and or even you are no longer feeling connection with what you do. It's when the curiosity, the willingness to learn more plays an important role on your life. And this might be the opportunity and the challenge you have to bring yourself back to your own life. For me, when I started feeling that I'm not able to bring value to what I'm doing, I step back, I make a self reflection. And even if it's hard to start all over again, even knowing that it might be risky, I know it will bring me joy. It will improve my creativity. It makes me feel like I'm having the power on my life again. And that was what triggered me to join Synopsys. When I joined Synopsys, one of my first requests was to translate data into valuable insights. It's to start structuring data into a readable format. So this was my first entrance on the digital transformation world. By the way, Synopsys is the leader of silicon to system design solutions. If you are interested in learning more about Synopsys, I would recommend to join the Unleashing the Power of Women session led by my colleague Ruzan on April 25th at 10:50 Central European Time. All my prior experience was based on Excel spreadsheets. So there was a real need for me to speed up on my knowledge around digital transformation, and it can be in how it can be used in our benefit. So I started to put my hands on. I'm a very positive and optimistic person. For me, there's no obstacles, only more or less complex problems. Your success will depend how you see them. I choose to look at them as opportunities to keep moving on, to keep investing on myself and keep growing. Of course, it was not easy at all. As I started saying, I'm a finance person. I'm not a data scientist. And I want data to validate and support my decisions, to tell me something. But at that time, I needed to jump out of my comfort zone, to take risks and start a new journey. Let me tell you an episode. I remember one morning when I was driving to the office. I should have been 6, 7 months at Synopsys. I was crying all the way to the office. I was having all those bad feelings, such I'm not good for the job, I can't do that, I'm not enough. But I had a vision and a direction to where I wanted to go. But I was feeling lost. I was zigzagging and not finding the way to get started. I went for a coffee with a colleague and started sharing my feelings. And he has no idea how it contributed to puzzle my ideas on my head. That was when I started seeing the light. Nowadays, I'm far from being a data scientist. And let me be honest, I don't want to be. But over the last years, I needed to surround myself with the right people that have those skills, that knowledge. I had something that I needed to deliver, and I needed to find a way to make it possible. That's true, sometimes alone. I've made new friends, such as YouTube, such as Google, and some other colleagues, and a lot of persistency, resilience, patience, a few tears, and fear. I've started writing a new chapter on my life, and let me tell you that I'm enjoying it a lot. I started by building actionable visuals. Data visualizations transforms data into powerful visuals and provides statistical, operational, and strategic insights. Data is crucial in today's business data-driven world, which has been widely used for helping decision makers. Clarity is key. Is the ultimate superpower in the days where information is exploding and our attention is extremely limited. We need to find better visuals for the data we have that captures their attention. They need to be clear. They need to emphasize things that are important. They need to be impactful. With this in mind, our dashboards will become actionable. Action is the only thing that counts. It's where we created the added value. If there's no action at all in our dashboards, so our work is just cost. Remember, our time is precious. Finally, user experience is critical for a successful adoption, and the adoption leads to digital transformation. This is where the actionable reports ends. I can say somehow that my role contributed to build the foundations of an organized data structure within Synapses that was successfully adopted. We were facing several complex situations. Some examples that some of you might be familiar with. Data was spread over several tools and not organized properly. We had Excel size limitations. There was complexity of the metrics and the data to be analyzed. There was lack of integration tools. It was extremely time-consuming and tedious to pull the data and access to the data. We needed consumable data with integrity. So we launched the Data Excellence Initiative. And most important, we had lots of data, but was not unified at all. Remember, this is a journey, and it takes time to start seeing the results. But if I look back to 6 years ago, there was no clear data strategy at Synapses. And I was able to initiate this journey and showing different possibilities we have to present the data in a manner that people can learn and take actions from there. Data consumers at Synapses are now able to answer questions that they were not able to do it before. We started a digital mindset transformation at Synapses. Digital transformation cannot be seen as a destination. You might have heard this already. It's a direction to where we want to go, taking baby steps to get there. It's a teamwork effort, a teamwork engagement. We need to keep learning and evolving with the technology, with AI that is nowadays everywhere. So our vision was, in fact, to create a single source of truth that is reliable, trustable, and unified. Creating a single source of truth, it's all about harmonization. It does this by taking data from different sources, cleaning and curating any misleading or inaccurate items and presenting them as a whole. It enhances the quality and utility of the business data. Keep in mind that your digital transformation journey will be key to grow and run your business with security. At the end of the day, your digital strategy needs to be scalable, ensure your systems are integrated, and your visualizations are clear and actionable for your decision makers. Ensure you can tell a story. I truly believe that in this digital transformation era, we need to be curious, openness, and creative. Cross-team work is very important. These will be the ingredients that will make this journey a successful story. Let me share with you some key takeaways on my experience at Synapses. We will need to provide good data for our decision makers because at the end of the day, they will need to take decisions. So it's better if we can provide them good data. Information should be actionable to answer the critical questions about your business. Data visualizations need to create impact on our users. Keep it clear and helpful. Scalability and integration. Look forward. Create tools that allowing your business to keep growing and to be secure. Data quality support. Keep your teams aware of the impact directions you are having. Sharing is caring. I'm almost getting to the end. So, my last message to you all from a women perspective: every successful story has a beginning. Be authentic, be yourself, keep challenging yourself every day. Believe in your unlimited potential and keep investing on you. Whatever job you do, put the love, passion, and excellence on your daily activities. You will start showing up differently, and everyone will notice. And on top, you will be contributing to a happier workplace. See yourself as a startup. You are the biggest project you work on your life. I hope you have enjoyed this session. Feel free to place some questions. Thank you so much.